Hello, this is Terrence Thomas of Physical Excellence Coaching. In this video, I'm going to show you my 10 hard and fast rules for getting in your best shape possible in the shortest amount of time. Now, these rules have been developed over the last 24 years of helping thousands of clients, patients, and athletes improve their fitness levels, improve their vitality levels, and improve their sports performance, helping people rehab from injuries. So these tips are a culmination of essentially my career's work. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you want to consider when trying to change your body is this. Do not deprive yourself. Any diet, exercise program, or regime that's centered around deprivation will not last. You're setting yourself up for failure. The process should be enjoyable. It should be a process where you're bringing energy and nutrients back into your body. And if that approach is taken, you're going to be able to sustain your results forever. So that's rule number one. Do not deprive yourself, okay? The mind has only a certain amount of willpower. It's a limited supply. Anything that relies on willpower alone will eventually fail. Do not deprive yourself. Cool? Cool. The second rule is prioritize your efforts. What do I mean? Focus on the most important thing first, okay? For most people, that is either diet and exercise is a distant second. So focus on that. If you're eating poorly, if you're eating a lot of packaged, processed foods, fast foods, focus on that first. Now, in terms of exercise priority, you want to do movements that's going to, first of all, teach you how to use your body correctly. Okay, there's tons of ways that you can get in shape, exercise, whatever. But the common denominator and the one thing that all of these things should be able to do is teach you how to use your body correctly. Do you have poor posture? Can you move in a way that's not promoting an injury? Do you have proper control over your body? All of these things, okay? If your exercise program is not doing that, you may want to rethink your priority. So, eating real food, prioritizing your exercise in a way that promotes posture and promotes proper movement patterns in the body, okay? Within these two objectives, you can always manipulate it to increase your fat burning or strength or whatever, all right? So rule number 3 is you got to know your drugs, okay? As a holistic lifestyle coach, my approach is exercise and food are drugs. Just like you can take a drug and it has side effects, you can do the wrong exercise and they can have side effects. You can eat the wrong food and those can have side effects as well. So if you have a mastery and if you know the right type of exercise that you need to be doing at any given time, your results are just going to come it'll be effortless. The problem with most people is this. They start exercise programs that are not appropriate for their current level of strength, conditioning, coordination, and stress levels. They end up doing something that's way too hard and they end up getting hurt, they end up getting burnt out or just quit because they're not getting results. The reason why they don't get results is because their body is rejecting the exercise. This is how the body works. When most people start exercise programs, they're already stressed out, they're tired, they're not going to bed on time, they're dehydrated, they got a bunch of crap chemicals going through their body. So when you start in a strenuous exercise program, when your body is in that current condition, it's essentially more stress to the body, okay? So essentially your body shuts down. You may get some results temporarily, but eventually you get sick, injured, or just burn out because your body is interpreting this high intensity or this crazy exercise as extra stress. Okay, there's two types of stress. There's eustress or distress. Eustress is a healthy stress that improves health, it improves energy levels, it promotes weight loss. So your trick is to find that type of exercise that creates eustress. And we here at Physical Excellence can tell you exactly what type of exercise at the right intensity, which movement patterns that you'll need to create this eustress in the body. Because if you're creating eustress, you're going to increase your metabolism, your body's going to naturally heal, and your results will be compounding. They'll get better over time. It'll be almost like fine wine. All right? Eat real food is the next rule. If they spend billions of dollars advertising the food, it's probably junk. You don't need a $1 million advertisement to eat organic, whole, real food. We all know that real food is the best. The more real food you get into your body, the more nutrients you're going to have on board to heal yourself, to lose weight, and to do everything that you need to do. So simple as that. Less boxed food, more real food. Prep your food. If you have a 9 to 5, prep your food on Sunday. Cook for 2 or 3 days at a time. Take your food with you, which is my next point along real food. Read my lips. Take your food with you. This is by far the #1 reason why most people fail. Listen, if you're relying on what's out there for food, you're going to lose that battle every time because 99% of it is garbage. So the only way that you can have control over your diet and your results is to bring your food with you. I promise you this one tip will make all of the difference. Make a project out of it. Go shop for some nice fancy food bags. Get yourself some glass containers. Don't nuke your food, by the way. No microwaving of food, okay? Get yourself a toaster oven. I don't care what you have to do. Hey, if you want real results, I'm telling it to you right now. This is all you need. Pay attention to the small details, okay? There is no amount of exercise that's going to outdo what you're putting in your mouth 3 to 6 times a day. I'm talking about meals. There's no amount of exercise. You cannot out-exercise a bad diet, okay? If you can get this one tip down, your results, you're guaranteed. You're home free. Pack your food. Take it with you. Do not microwave your food. It alters the chemical composition of the food and turns it into a toxin. It turns it into something that your body cannot interpret. Okay? If you need to buy a cheap toaster oven and take it with you to work, take it with you. Or have somebody make a project out of it at work. Have some people pitch in and buy a toaster oven for $30 or something. I'm sure you can, there's cheap ones out there, but your food is, listen, eating is the most intimate thing that we can do as human beings. To me, it's more intimate than sex. You can pull out and pull away with sex. You can't pull out of food unless you're throwing it back up. So whatever you're eating, you're becoming. Whatever you're eating, you're becoming, okay? Think of it that way, okay? If you think of it in those terms, it's going to be real clear as to where your results are at, okay? I think I pounded this idea home. Buy real food, cook it yourself, take it with you, all right? Next rule. Monitor your metabolism. This is big. If you already exercising, if you've done a lot of diets, if you've done a lot of these common exercise programs, a lot of times these programs can be over-stressful to the body and your metabolism can actually shut down. So it's important that you monitor your metabolism to make sure that your metabolism isn't shutting down. I recommend monitoring your metabolism every 4 to 6 weeks, possibly 8. The more sick and lower in vitality you are, I would recommend monitoring more frequently. Here's what I mean. If you're tired, if your body's aching, if you have trouble sleeping, if your sex drive is poor, if you just have an overall lower level of health and vitality, you're going to have to monitor your exercise program and your nutrition program more frequently to make sure that you're not overstressing yourself. So we have systems in place here that will show you how to monitor your metabolism and how to make sure that you're not going to reach a set point or a plateau in your program. So it's very important that you have these systems in place. Okay? The next rule is to know your metabolism. This is very important, and what I'm about to tell you now is a key idea and one of the key reasons why most people do not get results with their exercise program. Here's what I mean. Most people want to lose weight. They're dissatisfied with what they see in the mirror. Now, you have to make a distinction as to whether you are skinny fat or whether you are fat, because the approach is going to be very different with these two individual metabolisms. If you're overweight, and what I mean by fat is essentially someone who is about 50 plus pounds overweight. They're approaching the purely obese category. This is someone who doesn't really exercise. They eat the wrong foods. They're eating too much food. Now, with a person like this, if they took a calories in, calories out approach, which basically means increase your movement, reduce your calories, improve your food quality, you should start to see results. That's a very simplistic view. These people are pretty straightforward. But then you have the skinny fat people who can be a little bit more complex, which means that they're not necessarily heavy. They're just pudgy and flabby, and their body just feels soft, but they're not overweight per se. Now, if a skinny fat person takes the same approach as a fat person when trying to change their body, you're going to have big problems, okay? With a skinny fat person or a person who needs to just tone up and tighten their body, for them, it's about doing the right type of exercise, increasing their fuel intake so that way you're focusing on building lean muscle mass. So it's really important that you know your metabolism and understand the approach that you need to take. This is why most people don't get results, because most of the approaches out there are based on this calories in, calories out approach. And there's much more to it than that. And this is some of the things that we get into here at Physical Excellence Coaching. So know your metabolism, know where you stand, and it's going to make all the difference. Next rule is to follow the 80-20 rule. Really simple. If you're doing what you're supposed to do 80% of the time, you're going to be able to absorb the 20% that you decide to get off the program, whether you want to go out on the town and have a few cocktails or eat something that's not on your recommended food list. You're going to have enough energy and vitality and enough health to just clean yourself out and not have it be affected. But if you never build up those points, or if you don't do what you need to do long enough, you're not going to build up any party points. Simple as that. You got to build up party points in order to party and not suffer the consequences. But on average, listen to this. One alcoholic drink will ruin your metabolism for an entire week. If you want to read more about it, go ahead and go to my website, because I have an article on it right there. Or visit my Facebook fan page, Terrence Thomas, Physical Excellence Coaching, to read more about why one drink can ruin your metabolism for an entire week. So practice that 80-20 rule and get your party points built up, okay? Next rule is no chemicals. There are over 2 million chemicals that exist today that didn't even exist 100 years ago. Our liver is working overtime to process all these environmental toxins, whether they're coming from the air, the water, industrial materials, in the food as well. Anytime you have extra toxins in your body, you essentially give yourself a reason to store fat. One of the things that fat does is it walls off toxins from our organs. It's a protection mechanism. So the more toxins you have floating around in your system, your body wants to hold on to body fat to keep you from poisoning yourself. Clean your body out, you'll give your body a reason to release fat. Okay? Next rule. If you drink coffee, do not drink it on an empty stomach unless you know what you're doing. Here's why. Most people, they wake up in the morning, they have their cup of coffee, then they eat 2-3 hours later. Okay? If you do this, you're going to make yourself fat. Here's why. Coffee is a stimulant. Coffee raises adrenaline and cortisol. If you do this over a long period of time, you're going to fatigue your adrenal glands, which means that your adrenal glands are going to be weak, your immune system is going to be compromised, your metabolism is going to be lower. Okay, so it's important, if you do drink coffee, do it after you eat, because it blunts the stimulating effect of the coffee, and it turns it into a health building substance rather than a stressful substance. The first thing that should go in your mouth anyway when you wake up is water. That's number one. Most people are obscenely dehydrated. Did you know that most people can get off at least one of their medical drugs just from being properly hydrated? But that's a whole nother story. Okay? And if you're drinking coffee, make sure that it is organic. Coffee beans is probably one of the most heavily sprayed crops that there is. So if you're constantly exposing yourself to conventionally raised coffee, you're getting a nice whopping dose of pesticides and herbicides, which takes me back to rule number 8, which is no chemicals. So if you're drinking coffee every day, switch to an organic coffee. If you're, make it a project. Order it, buy your organic coffee, make it at your office, make it at home. These are the facts, unfortunately. Or if you can find a local coffee shop that offers organic coffee, request it. Demand it. We have to start changing things by using our dollar, but I digress. So these are the options. You can play the C game or you can play the A game. I'm giving you the tools to play the A game. These are the things that make all the difference. It's not doing a bunch of little big things. It's about doing the little things every single day. It's what you do every day that's going to show up 3 months, 6 months, a year from now. I'm giving you the key. You just got to stick it in and turn it. Okay? I'm giving you the key to Pandora's box here. And the final rule I want to talk about is if you're getting healthy as you go about your body transformation program, your results are going to be permanent. That's it. If you're increasing your vitality throughout your training and your dieting or your eating well, you can't lose. Okay? The problem with most diets is that they compromise vitality. You actually get unhealthy by following a cookie diet or some other starvation diet or liquid diet or this diet. They don't take vitality into consideration. The body is very intelligent. The body is a survival mechanism. So if it thinks that your diet is more stressful than not being on a diet, you're not going to get good results. You'll just revert back to gaining all that weight back. But if you're improving your vitality with high quality nutrition and the right type of exercise, you're going to constantly get results, and they're going to stick, and they're going to be permanent. Simple as that. I wish I can complicate it a little bit more than that, but this is it. These are easier said than done, which is why you can come and get coached and guided and inspired and mentored through this process. This is what we do here at Physical Excellence Coaching. If you want an expert with over 24 years of experience guiding you through this process, give us a call at 954-454-5305. On this page, there's a special. There's a 2-week trial. If you wanted to give this system a try for 2 weeks, come on in for a consultation. We'll show you how the program works. You can try it out for 2 weeks. If you don't like it, no problem. If you want to continue, we can talk about it then. I look forward to helping you achieve your highest level of health and vitality. This is my life. This is my passion. And I hope that we can share some time together to help me help you achieve your life and your passion. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.